All right, I'm going to be done with my Righteous Fire build. We have the Scepter, the Helmet, the Shield, Amulet, Ring, Boots, Belt, Glove. You can pause it on any of those if you want to take a closer look at the details. I'm not going to go into great details. None of these items are best in slot. None of these items are spectacular. All of them are just kind of T16 grade, starter build grade. None of this is end game bossing viable. I tried to do Uber Red Boss, and he curb stomped me. I don't really understand how he curb stomped me because my defenses are supreme. You're not going to get too much better armor. I mean, obviously you can, but it ramps up as I fight and my flask are popped and stuff like that. Resistance is top of the line. Regen is pretty good, but because I'm limited because of this body armor, I can't get life rolls on any of my gear, so I don't have a lot of recoup. So recoup is a bit of a problem, and I don't have any life regeneration rate. Only life regeneration rate I have comes from right here of 15%. I could go into there and get another... Oh, no, that doesn't have life regeneration rate. I thought that had regeneration rate. Oh, this is just a bad node in general. Who the hell is going to grab that node? That node's trash. 1.2 is way too low for that node. This makes no sense. I mean, this node over here has 1.6 life regeneration. This has 1.2 and then a flat 10. Odd. Real bad. These are terrible nodes. No, seriously. Compare this node, 1.2 life regeneration per second, to something like this, or this, or this, or this, or this, or this. Why does this even exist? They just need to remove this whole wheel. It's all trash. Just throw it all out. Anyway, sorry. Quick rant. So my Righteous Fire build, I think I have one pride. Where is it? I have one jewel that I take pride in. I got it from Rog. There it is. Perfectly rolled jewel. Got it from Rog. I'm going to be able to make some cash on this bad boy once I'm done with this Righteous Fire build. Basic large cluster jewels, basic medium cluster jewels. Nothing too spectacular. I have a Watcher's Eye, unaffected by poison while affected by malevolence, 8% additional physical damage reduction when affected by determination. This was like 25C. Nobody wanted it, but it's great because now I have poison immunity. I have bleed immunity from a couple of these nodes here. I have bleed on them. Or not. I'm tatted up to the extreme with this fire res stuff. Maybe I got rid of all my bleeds. Oh, there we go. 15% chance to avoid bleed. And I have some on my gear. So it puts me at 106 bleed avoidance. So for the most part, this build is unkillable. The chaos resistance sometimes can be a problem. Usually I run a chaos flask, but right now I don't really want to run a chaos flask. I want this phasing instead. And the movement speed is also nice. So what is this build good for? It is good for T16 farming, specifically for bosses. So you want to... I always forget how to get to here. You want to get setups that will give you bosses. So using the Maven to get additional bosses at the end is nice, because a lot of times you can get a pop on the bosses. Metamorph is nice because these metamorphs will actually spawn in your map, and then you can pop the metamorphs. Beyond is nice because it spawns beyond bosses. Simulacrum is nice because it spawns simulacrum bosses. So that's kind of the combo I like to do. If I really wanted to fine tune it, I would either get rid of red or get rid of Maven, but right now I have them both. I'm going to run this as red instead of Maven because it's a Drox map. And where this build excels is dense maps like a 100% Delirious Drox map. So let's run this 100% Delirious Drox map. Let's throw some Red Beast in there as well, just to give a final hurrah to my Righteous Fire build, which I will be pivoting into a different build. Probably won't be as good. So for this build, you want to group enemies together. And then you want to hit them with some Chieftain pops, just like that. And then the Chieftain pops takes care of the enemies. Those Chieftain pops are absolutely banger. They are good stuff. So So you just clear out that pack, and then you do another one. You're basically a sheepdog. You herd the enemies, you sheepdog them around, you get them all stuck in big groups, toss a flamethrower trap, and then once they start popping, they all stop locking. Popping and locking. I was going for some ASMR, so it's a little loud in my headphones. So I am going to have to turn it down on my end. Turn down this master just a little bit. Can't hear myself think with all that popping and exploding. Interrupting my talking. Which is the reason you guys all leave here, is once I start talking. I guess I should speed it up and focus on picking up gear less. Just to do some demos. Oh, there's a boss. So we take all these little dudes up to this fucking boss. And you get them all to pop on the boss. And as you can see, that boss just got fucking ended. He's done. He showed up at 100% delirious map. He showed up and he instantly went away. He was like, I'm done here. This is too much. I don't like it. I'm leaving. So he popped in, said hello, and then he left. Just like the Beatles songs. Hello, goodbye. First you say hello, and then you say goodbye. Brilliant writing, Paul McCartney. You deserve to be one of the most famous musicians on this planet. Look at those pops. So this is what this build excels at. And it was also excelled as a starter build. Starting with this build, this has been the best starter I've ever had in my entire life because of the Chieftain Ascendancy. I didn't have to worry about any elemental penetration. I didn't have to worry about exposure. I didn't have to worry about resistances. I didn't have to worry about armor. It was all just taken care of it for me. I got all the way to T16 with 6 or 7 chaos. Basically just get 1 chaos per piece of gear. And I made it all the way through. Super easy. I had to go a little bit harder to do Maven, a little Elder, Shaper, Conquerors. All that was really easy. Struggled with Maven. I have a death video. I didn't record the live video because I was live streaming, and so I didn't record a video of me actually beating Maven. But I beat Maven once, and I never have to fight her again. Technically, I beat her twice, but one time I had another person with me, so that didn't count. But I soloed her once. Yeah, this should be fine. So as a starter, this was absolutely spectacular, and I think the Chieftain might be my go-to starter because I always like to have a Marauder on tap. So leveling as a Chieftain, I can always switch to a Berserker or a Jug for the end game because a Chieftain does fall off end game. Just a little bit. If you have unlimited currency, you're always going to be able to build a better Berserker or a better Jug over a Chieftain. The Chieftain will never be able to compete with other Ascendancies at unlimited currency. Just because its kit isn't really designed for maximum power. It's more designed for maximum convenience. This kit, it just allows you to gear for so little currency and for so little effort. It is a hardcore master, solo self-fan master, starting character master. It is just extremely good. Hey, look at that. I might be able to turn that into something delicious. And it accelerates at sneaky damage. Like right here is going to be sneaky damage. You got this big boy. He thinks he's hot shit. He just got popped on. There wasn't enough enemies to pop on him to kill him, though. So let's draw him to some more heavy enemies. Here we go. Let's get a big pack. There he goes. He died. He got popped on. You could really just do only traps, take off Righteous Fire, and just let your traps kill a couple enemies and become absolutely unkillable. And just create an unkillable build and run nothing but 100% simulacrum maps. Let's pop this guy out of his chamber. And you just let them all pop each other. pops didn't go as smoothly as I wanted that time. Not enough people got caught in it, or someone spawning minions or something. Oh, there's a red beast in the house as well. Come on, follow me. Where you going, red beast? You ain't dead. You just gotta... Where are you? Come on, let's go. What is wrong with this red beast? He's like stuck to a spot. He won't follow me. He's being weird. Come on, let's all go to this red beast. If the red beast ain't gonna come to me, I'll take these guys to the red beast. And not only that, it's a lot of fun to try to fucking herd all these enemies into one spot. Red beast down. And if you're really lucky, you can get a quad boss combo. I don't think I got Metamorph. Yeah, I didn't get Metamorph, so this is kind of a dud. Metamorph is much better when you have Metamorph in here too, because it spawns just a Metamorph in the map. And you can pop that Metamorph, and if you're lucky, I've done it once. You get a Beyond boss, you get a Simulacrum boss, you get a Metamorph boss, then you pull open a Red Beast, and then you get a... Essence. You pop out of Essence, and then they just all pop, and you get free kills on all these big guys. All these big guys get the free kills. Now I try to build in a little bit of a stationary theme. I have some stationary mechanics, but stationary doesn't quite work that well in 100% Delirious because of the amount of damage you take and the frequency of the damage you take. I try to mitigate that through a couple of means, but the only real good way to mitigate that is get a big fat stack of recoup. I only have like 5 recoup right now, so a big fat stack of recoup will help mitigate that. And then or Blood Notch. You go Blood Notch and you're gonna mitigate all that. If I put Blood Notch on this character, I could turn him invincible if I really wanted to, but I don't know what the price of Blood Notch is right now. And Blood Notch was last league's mechanic. I used it all last league. It feels cheap. It's not honest defenses. I like to try to build things with honest defenses and something that's not manipulating a mechanic that's overly broken or powerful like Blood Notch. This game relies on broken mechanics. Almost every meta build uses some type of broken mechanic. But I try to be as honest as possible. I don't think I have anything that would be considered overly broken. Synergistic, yes, but not really busted. So I wanted to do Drox because Drox spawns minions. And hopefully we can get these minions to pop on Drox. It's only a 5% and he doesn't spawn a lot of minions, so probably not going to get a good pop. But if I get a pop, hopefully it'll show it pretty well. No pop. Let me get my life back. Stop being a jerk. I think he has increased attack speed, which is making it real rough to maintain my life total. This is also a good example to show that my current setup, it's only like 1.6 million DPS, I think. So it really doesn't boss super well without using the pops. And this is probably the highest damage boss. I mean, highest life boss you can get. 100% Delirious, plus I think they even have extra life in there. Maybe not. But the attack speed is making it a bit rough to sustain. My life regeneration's actually kind of low. Unique boss has 42% increased life. Yeah, so that's pretty rough. I'll fight him at the end. But the increased attack speed and the unique life is pretty brutal. I ran this map because it was in the 100% in terms of quantity. 126 increased quantity of items. So that's a lot of quant. So I wanted to run this with 100% deli. Let's get my pack together. Do my herding, get my sheepdogging. Throw a couple flamethrower mines or traps. There you go. Get them. Oh, god damn it. Now, obviously, you don't want to do 100% delirious in terms of gaining experience, because you're not going to gain experience, because you will still die. Unless, of course, you got Blood Notch. Once you get Blood Notch, you won't die. But again, Blood Notch is broken. People shouldn't be using it. And I say people shouldn't be using it simply because it sets unrealistic expectations for other builds. Because once you build a Blood Notch build, every other build feels kind of trashy. Because Blood Notch is just so damn good. Using anything else just doesn't feel as good. So it's kind of ruining the game for yourself by using Blood Notch. It's kind of like playing a meta build. You follow someone's build guide and you play a meta build and it holds your hand all the way to 20 million DPS and becoming unkillable. Playing any other build is just going to make it that much rougher. Which is kind of the name of the game. Eventually, if you play this game enough, you're just going to get builds that are too good. And it ruins every other build. So when you try to any other build, you're like, oh, this build feels bad. And it's not so much that the build feels bad, it's that the other builds you played felt too good. That happened to me for a while with aura stacking before they nerfed aura stacking a lot. Not that aura stacking still isn't extremely strong, but there was a point where aura stacking made you invincible and you could just run the entire map completely void of any type of gameplay. You just closed your eyes and you ran the map and it cleared the map all by itself. Stopping is dangerous. Which is where this passive becomes really annoying. This is why this isn't an in-game passive. Towards the end game, holding still is a death sentence. Unless you go Blood Notch. But if you're not going Blood Notch, you just don't want to hold still. So let's take a look at some defensive numbers as I'm running around. Oh, what the heck? I think the map also has decreased defenses. The players have 48% reduced, 36% reduced armor. There we go. So even with that reduced armor, still 66,000, 90% physical damage reduction. When the flask are up and running, and the flask are usually up and running. Now I could have demoed this on a less dangerous map, but I wanted to show it at like maximum dangerousness. Even though this isn't maximum dangerous, it's just a pretty dangerous map. And that dude hurts. Now if you really wanted to take this build and pump it up to the next level, Aspect of Carnage is one way to do that. It's very expensive, so I'm not going to use that at all. Undeniable, unsomething, the other Juggernaut node that gives you 40% life regeneration rate. That would really help with my deaths. You see me dying because I'm not quite able to keep up with life regeneration. You can also modify your skills a little bit to pop Vitality in. Right now I'm actually not running Vitality, which is like a cardinal sin of a Righteous Fire build. But I'm using Vol Arctic Armor instead, just for the synergy of the standstill meta that I'm trying to build here, which doesn't work because, you know, you should never stand still. So let's try to kill this boss. Get his little flags down. Oh, he dropped more flags. What do you know? I'm not sure I got the deeps. He's just going to keep dropping the flags, and I think him dropping the flags is actually increased by his attack speed. So I'm not sure I can do this at 100% delirious. Actually, let's drop this Vol Arctic Armor. Nah, you know what? I don't want to do it. I don't want to worry about it. I'm just going to keep going in and dying. I have accepted. I'm going to try without Righteous Fire, actually. Let's just try just the traps to see if I can survive with enough regen. It'll give you an idea. Even without Righteous Fire, I don't got the regen. So the increased attack speed is actually what's making it rough. I'd be able to sustain my life a lot better if he wasn't attacking so quickly. But that is that. 100% delirious map. Worked out pretty well. Got some pretty good gear. Look at that. Almost good. This is my Chieftain starter. It is very strong. Now let me preview the next build. Someone popped into my chat and dropped me these boots, this body armor, this amulet, and that's it. So I went about getting a bunch of gear that I was already saving. I already had these gloves for a while. This belt right here, pretty good strength, plus 14% to attributes, fire resistance, double replica dream feathers. Eye of the Great Wolf for 24% increased attributes. I think that's not even the highest. I might even be able to get a better one of these. So I'm going to do a strength stacker next, trying to use the worst passive node. I don't know what you call this, ascendancy point. The worst ascendancy point in the game. I'm going to try to use it. I'm going to try to make it work. And that is it. I will talk to you guys later. The Chieftain is now done. Now, the saddest part about this is I have all of these fire resistance nodes. I have all these tattoos, and there's no way to get the tattoo back. I spent a lot of time getting all of these fire resistance nodes set up. And I should play this Chieftain a little longer. Actually, I should level up another character, but I kind of hate leveling up another character. So I'm just going to re-roll this Chieftain to a strength stacker, use a bunch of regret, use a bunch of nodes. That is all. I said that already.